Welcome, welcome to the deleted scene of another vlog where I'm gonna take you on a little bit of a book tour. These are all the books that I found and put on the shelf. We're not gonna go through the Archie comics, but we'll go through most everything else. So we'll start over here on the left, and maybe we'll start up here where I have a few Marmadukes. Now these I read when I was a little kid for different reasons. Oh, this one has a piece of paper in there. Oh, this is from, yeah, I gave this one to Ashley actually, so this is technically Ashley's book. That's because I grew up with these. I got her a whole bunch of books one year, and one of them was this one because a little girl said that Hank looked like Marmaduke. And so each book that I got her sort of had a meaning behind it. So I'm not sure if I'll keep this one on here, but for now, we will. So these are the 4 Marmaduke ones I have. I probably have more somewhere, but I don't know where they are at. Let's put those up there. Moving over, we have a bunch. Okay, so these are all books that I was given from I think from my older brother Ken. They would have been given to me and my younger brother Dakota. So Heathcliff, I know there's more of these around somewhere as well, probably at my mom's house still, but I'm not certain. Oh, more ridiculous world records. This is kind of funny. Let's see here. Dolbyville, Kansas. Housed the most crowded one-room schoolhouse in history. In 1922, 538 children ages 6 to 18 all crowded into one small classroom. Now, I'm pretty sure these are not real, but they might be. Professor Backwards, yeah, see, like, what kind of name is that? Did not achieve the fame and recognition he had hoped for when he discovered that by rubbing 2 fires together he could produce sticks. Yeah, so obviously they're not real, but they're just stupid cartoons. Yeah, I think it's funny. Oh, snappy answers to stupid questions. I always like these too. I probably read this like 100 times. Are they being arrested? No, they're being returned to the zoo. Like what? No, this is a new kind of bus service for people who prefer living in jail. No, we just go out and pick up any pedestrian who is too tired to walk, and then you can put in your own here. Yeah, I think we filled out some of these. Dakota and I. Oh, here's one that's filled out. Do we need a plumber? No, a farmer preferably. No, a farmer preferably someone with rice paddy experience, and you can see like it's flooded. No, a boat builder. I want to start a shipping fleet here in our basement. No, scuba diver. How else can we load the washing machine? No, but I need a new wife. You're stupid. Yeah, definitely. Dakota wrote this. That's hilarious. No, I need a new wife. You're stupid. Oh, I thought this was funny too. I don't know why. This is like a big cartoon of a guy, so it starts with him. Oh man, I remember this. Is funny. Okay, snappy answer, stupid question. Spy chase extravaganza. I'll just let you figure it out as we go. Then we'll move on to the next book. This guy keeps narrowly escaping death. The artwork in here is kind of cool. I like how it's like sort of watercolor, or it's probably markers actually in the background. This kind of artwork has always been one of my favorites. And then at the end, do you have any enemies? No, this is how my very close friends treat me. No, I'm just a wee bit accident prone. No, this is the kind of ordinary everyday experience I have on my way to work. And then of course we can write in our own answers. So that's those books there. And then we have some more books from Mad. I like Mad. They're hilarious. There's a whole bunch of Mad magazines that Dakota has, and I'll see if he wants to put them here, and we'll add them to the collection, because there's still lots of room here on the shelf. Yeah. Oh yeah, miming, miming picking up weights, and then on the next page, if I remember correctly, they make two divots. Yeah. Such stupid. Like, it's funny, but it's silly. Let's see here. What was this one? They're dreaming of dinner. They all wanted antelope, and he's like, damn it, now I have to go get some antelope. He's like, antelope again? Probably because they're mad fast. I don't know why, but there might be another joke attached to that. Ziggy faces life again, of course. Everyone knows Ziggy, probably from the Sunday papers. Charlie Brown. Oh, Andy Capp. This guy is like, the way he treats his wife. It's it's so old school, but I think it's funny because he never gets away with it. So those are what are on that shelf there, and I don't have anything above it. I decided to put this clock up here. It'll probably move at some point. I don't know. Then, of course, we got Archie comics here. These are some newer ones. Well, these are actually the last ones I put on there. This Archie comic, interestingly, is bigger than the typical Archie comic. I thought that was interesting. It sticks out further, and it's taller. I'll probably put all the newer Archies on its own designated shelf. I don't have them very organized in any sort of way, but maybe one day I'll do that. Okay, moving down here. Now, I don't normally collect these types of comics because I don't read them. I never have, except for one time, a Pokemon, which I don't know where that is. I may have given that away years ago by now. But these are those. Not very interested in those. So I don't know why I have them. This was a gift from one of you guys. The Cyclone, interestingly enough, is one of my favorite trucks. It's a mini truck. It's like the S10. Well, I guess they would have called it, what was the GMC? I think it was a Chevy S10 and a GMC Sonoma. The Cyclone was really fast, and it competed with the Ford Lightning at the time, because the Chevy 454 was much slower in car time. Oh, and then here's a Dodge SRT10. That's the Viper truck. I like it as well. Yeah, GMC Cyclone and Typhoon. Okay, so the Cyclone was the GMC, and the Typhoon was the one with the it had the canopy on it. It was like the Jimmy or whatever. Jimmy, or what did the GMC? The GMC was the Blazer? I don't know, whatever it was. Oh yeah, then I have a truck. I don't have this truck. I have the Dakota, not the Durango. Man, I wish I remembered what Chevy had. Chevy and GMC are practically the same thing. Most people know that. Chevy also had the Cyclone, Typhoon. I'm pretty sure Chevy had something too, and it would have been, well, maybe they didn't. I might be blanking there. Oh, here's the Ford Lightning. This is the Generation 2 Ford Lightning. But the first generation, the one that has the same body style as my truck. Oh, here's the 454 SS. That's the one that Ford, they stopped producing in 93, and Ford stopped producing the Generation 1 in 95. They started in 93, and then that's when Chevy stopped, arguably because they just couldn't compete, but I don't know if that's certainly true. Yeah, the Typhoon is turbocharged, all-wheel drive. So the Typhoon, pair of turbocharged all-wheel drive compact sport trucks, dubbed the Cyclone and the Typhoon. The Cyclone pickup, blah, 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 while the Typhoon was the SUV. Yeah. They might mention the Chevy version. Maybe they didn't have a Chevy version. I don't remember. But anyways, those were some of my favorite trucks. Anyways, I like car magazines. I used to read them all the time. In fact, that's why I got the Mustang that I got, is because this is the first generation Ford Lightning. This thing is super awesome. My brother Ken has 3 of these right now. My brother Dave has one, and I would love to have one at some point. I especially love the white one, and they made some of the nicest stock wheels I've ever seen. Some of them came with a console, which is the least desirable option. Nowadays for collectors, they want the jumper seat in the middle. But yeah, super. That's probably not that interesting. Oh, I wanted to make my truck. Although my truck has the rancher style mirrors, not these power mirrors. If I were to get another one, I would make it look like the Lightning. And yeah, I would get the ones with the power mirrors and stuff. I think that would be a cool project. So anyways, that's that. Another magazine, Elvis. My mom actually got this for me because I'm a fan of Elvis. So that's that. Here's a car magazine that I subscribed to for a while, but my address was too hard for them to mail out to, and so I had to stop the subscription because I didn't get them for months because they got lost in the mail. So I don't have them anymore. One of my friends has his car on one of these magazines. I wish I would have gotten that one, but I didn't. Then of course Ripley's Believe It or Not. I used to have a ton of these, or well, maybe like 3 or 4. I just like these because they're so full of bizarre different things. Oh, sheep. We're planning on getting sheep. That would be nice. So I plan on getting all of them at some point, along with all the Guinness World Record books. I think what happened is I gave all my Guinness World Record books to my nephew Dalton, but he may not want them anymore now that he's grown up. I'm not sure, but if he doesn't, I will take them back. Because these were always interesting for me. These are the types of books that I took out in the library when I was a kid at school. And then Ashley, she would have taken out freaking novels and stuff. Okay, moving on to the left. If we start up here again. Colossals. Let's see here. I have 7 of these, I think. Let's put them in order. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2. Oh, I'm missing 1. I bet you that's probably somewhere at my mom's house because I actually found one of these. I don't remember which one it was. It was either 6 or 7 at my mom's house just the other day. And so I added it to these. So I got those. These are just, let me just show you. They're just comic books. This one has Little Mermaid in it. Goofy and Mickey. Chip and Dale. Darkwing Duck. I liked these. I don't know how many there ever were, but I think we only had 7. And then over here, we used to have a ton of these Westerns, and I thought these were so cool. So the artwork is great in them. It's pretty realistic. Like Archie comics, they don't actually look real because of their eye shape and whatnot. But if you go on to these Westerns, like they look pretty real. Like not real, but like more realistic, if you know what I mean. So I had a few of those. I used to have tons of these, but I don't know where they went. Some of them are ruined. But yeah, we used to have at least to fill up the whole shelf there. All right, moving down, of course, we got Archie comics, and then down further, we got my art books. This here, Goddard. This was gifted to me by a gallery. I just did a flip through it. Thoughts on Art World or Goddard Philosophy number 777. Finding recognition from the art world is like playing a video game. First I learned their rules, then forgot them all and paint the way I want to. That is funny that I flipped to this page because that's exactly how I feel. When certain, let's say, well, let's just be honest. I used to have an art, I guess you could call it manager, and he insisted that I stop doing a lot of the mediums I work on and just focus on my painting because I was the best. My best reactions came from my painting because I was a finger painter, and then I was like, how about no, I don't like that's not me. I want to do what I want to do. Oh, unfortunately, I must have done something. This got a little wrecked. Whoops. That's too bad. So there's that. Yeah, so if you're an artist and you're gonna get an agent or a manager or something like that, make sure you get one that works for you. This one was a gift from one of you guys, and it just has different art in there. It has like a price guide and all that stuff. This was at an art auction. This is what that was made for. I like collecting things like that. I have a couple more, but I don't know where I placed them. This was a gift from one of you guys. Really like Banksy. He's one of my favorite artists, and I think he like just I don't know, it's so clever. It's pretty simple, like this. Pretty simple, right? It's just a stencil, but like he's pissing on the wall there. Like that's the. I mean, there's a statement attached to it. I'm sure that goes beyond what I'm saying, but like, no, I don't know. It's clever. Police state sort of statement there, I think. This monkey, Chakota had this in his apartment. He had like a stencil sticker you could buy. Pretty sure it wasn't licensed by Banksy, but since he doesn't he doesn't reveal who he is or anything like that, oh yeah, here it is. This was it. Laugh now, but one day we'll be in charge. Um, since he's anonymous, maybe he doesn't pursue legal action when people steal his artwork. I'm not sure. I actually have a cool Banksy story. At one of my art shows, it was an outdoor art walk style art show. I had this individual come up to me and ask me if it was my work. He had an accent that was, I don't know where it was from, but it was hard to understand him. And I thought he was like a homeless dude. And I'm trying to make a sale. And I'm like, what? Sorry, hold on one second. Go over to him. I'm like, yes, what's up? And he's like, is this your work? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, it's very nice. It's very nice. And then he kind of goes to walk away, and then he turns around and he's like, you know who Banksy is? But he says it more like, you know who Banksy is? Banksy? And I'm like, oh, Banksy? Yeah, I know who Banksy is. And he's like, he's in town. And then he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he's like, nice work. And then he walks away. And I'm like, okay, you weird dude. And then and then a few minutes later, I'm like, wait a minute. Why? Well, maybe even just 30 seconds later, I'm like, why would this random dude say that to me? Say I have nice work and then leave. I'm like, is it possible for whatever reason that I got lucky and met Banksy? I mean, it's completely plausible that it wasn't him. It's likely that it wasn't him, actually. But a little while later, oh, Banksy notes. I always wanted one of those. That would be really cool. A little while later, we watched through the, what is it called? Exit through the gift shop? Or enter through, what is it? Exit through the gift shop. And one of the people on there, some people argue is probably Banksy, just somehow, like, what is it called? He's like, he's on the show, but he's pretending not to be himself, whatever that's called. I'm like, that kind of looks like the guy who I met, but I don't know if it's that guy, or if this guy isn't Banksy on the show, then maybe he knows Banksy and he obviously is working with him if he's doing this. If you watch the documentary, you'll know what I'm saying. Anyways, I was like, not jumping up and down, but in my mind, I was like, oh my God, maybe I met this guy, and if that guy is Banksy, then maybe I met Banksy, or maybe I just met a guy who is just some weird dude. I don't know. There's a few possibilities. Either the guy who was on the documentary is Banksy and is the same guy who I met, or he's a guy who's not Banksy and uh, isn't the guy who I met, or whatever the combination of different ways you could say that. Either I met him or I didn't. Is the end result there? That's the conclusion. But anyways, thank you to whoever sent that to me. I'm sorry I forgot your name. Forgive me. Here's another Goddard book. Goddard is, by the way, one of my favorite. Well, he is my favorite artist. He. So let me show you. I brought this to one of his shows. I got this from. I got it online. Ashley got it from me online. This happens to be one of his cousins. So if you want to buy it and you want to read that phone number, you can get it from him. I actually was kind of cheesed that he put that in there. There should be somewhere in here. He signed it. Ah, here it is. Josh, you rock, my friend, which is just a generic thing that he writes in a lot of things. But when I brought this up to him, he kind of had like this look on his face like he recognized me, which I thought was kind of fun because a little while ago, there was a Instagram account that was called Real Batmobile. And this Real Batmobile commented and liked a lot of my Instagram photos at one point. And he's like, I had my stuff in a gallery, and he said, yours is the best in the place. And I was like, oh, thanks. Have you been there? And I never got a reply. And in this was my first gallery, by the way, and they liked my work so well that they gave me a front wall. And if you understand gallery etiquette and politics, depending on the gallery, of course, you kind of like move your way up to the front of the gallery at times. Not always, but at times. And in this case, that was one of the things. And I got to move up to the front of the gallery quite quickly, which was pretty awesome. But anyways, I had a picture on my Instagram because of that. By the way, this is a finger painting. One of my favorites. Classic Martini, it's called. As I went on with my Instagram thing, he kept liking a whole bunch more, and I was like, who is this guy? So I click on his page, and I was like, what the heck? Either this is a fan page for Michael Goddard, or it is Michael Goddard. But I already followed his official Michael Goddard Instagram, so I wasn't sure. So anyways, I go to his art show, and I get him to sign the book, and then I chicken out and I don't ask him anything. And my brother Jakota's with me. He's like, dude, why didn't you ask him? Why didn't you tell him who you were? What if that's him? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want to bug him, and I don't want to be wrong and get embarrassed and stuff. And so he's like, Jakota's like convincing me. He's like, no, dude, you have to go back in there. You have to. I have a print of this as well. He told me to get back in there, and like, I was like, dude, well, then I have to get back in line. And at this point, the line is super long because he's got a lot of fans. And I was like, okay, maybe I can go back in line. I was like, you know what I'll do? I'll go down to the hat store and I'll buy a Batman hat. And that way I will be able to easier ask him. I'll be like, well, I have a Batman hat. You're the real Batmobile. Because in real life, he did buy the original Batmobile that used to be in that TV show, the Batman and Robin TV show. And so I'm waiting in line, and I'm getting nervous, and like, I'm just like, I don't know. And this is another finger painting, by the way. Oh, I used to have this one too, but I sold it. Because I needed the money. Let's continue here. I'm looking for a specific painting as I tell you this story. So as I'm going, no, that's not it. I already showed you that one. As I'm waiting in line, I'm like, if it's not him and I'm standing in line, with a stupid hat. That's going to be ridiculous. He's going to be like, no, that's not me. What are you doing with that hat? So I was like, okay. So I talked to the salesman and I'm like, hey, I need to buy something, but I don't have 8 grand on me. So what is something that I could get? And he kind of shows me some options. And man, I can't find what I'm looking for. And I go and I choose one. And he had told me this real Batmobile had told me in one of his comments on my page there on my Instagram. He's like, he's like, finger painting is one of the rawest form of art or something like that. You have your DNA imprinted, something like that. And he's like, my last finger painting was called Classic Martini, which is that one that I showed you earlier. This one. Wait, no. Where is it? This one right here. And then I was like I'm like, that's got to be him. So anyways, I'm standing in line. I can't find the painting that I actually decided to. It's another finger painting of an olive with arms floating. I think it's called The Last Martini. But anyways, this was his last finger painting, I believe. I could be remembering wrong. Anyways, I got that because I'm a finger painter. I was like, this will work out good. It'll be a cool story at the very least. So I get back in line. And he's like, oh, deja vu. And then he's like, oh, you got something? And I'm like, yes. So I hand him that and I ask him, I'm like, hey, do you have an Instagram? And he kind of looks at me again and he's like, I think what he was thinking was like, he was looking at me like, oh, maybe you are the guy who I think you are too. Anyways, he's like, yeah, he says, official Goddard. I'm like, do you have another one? He's like, yeah, real Batmobile. And he's like, what's your name again? And I'm like, Josh. He's like, no, what's your Instagram? And I was like, My Hands Gallery. And then he wrote this, My Hands Gallery, to kindred spirit and fellow artists. And then he said, well, before he wrote this, he said, holy effing shit, it's you, or something like that, which was super flattering. He might have just been being nice. I'm not sure, but it was for me as a young new artist, I was super stoked. Anyway, so he wrote this in the book there, and then he also signed the painting, or the print, I should call it, the print. Moving on. You might be able to hear Hank barking in the background. Moving on, this was signed by, so this is one of my favorite artists, Gabe Leonard. He's got a cool style. Let me kind of show you. So this one was signed by him, and that was before I got these. These are what I recently picked up. If you've been watching the regular vlog, then you know about those. But he does like these Western style, a lot of Westerns. These ones are not Western. But you kind of see the style, like this is kind of gangster. Boxers, Muhammad Ali. He does kind of like I don't know what this style is called, expressionism of some sort. I don't know. I don't really know the art lingo. I just like to paint pictures, so that's what I do. Here's a picture of him. I follow him on Instagram, Gabe Leonard. And then here's that style. His paintings in that style. I actually haven't even looked at these yet. Let me try to find the Western ones, because those are my favorite. Outlaws, probably. Musicians and drunken poets. Let's see here. Move that over there. Oh, another gangster. He might have like a Bonnie and Clyde in there. Oh, okay. This is, okay, so you might recognize some of these musicians here. All right. Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash. Okay, so here's a cool one. My favorite one, or the first one I ever seen when this particular gallery started carrying his work. This was the first painting I saw, and I thought it was so freaking awesome. Too expensive for me, though, unfortunately. Most art is, even my own. But yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his books. I think that's all of his books. Plus, I have this, which was gifted to me by the gallery. And then I have those over. I have the Nano Lopez. He does mostly sculptural work. This was also signed by him, but it wasn't dedicated or anything because I got this not at one of his shows. But let's see if we can find something that I actually like particularly. Let's see here. He does some abstract work, but my favorite work of his, or he has these dragons. They might not be in this book, but they might be. I'm not sure. I don't know a heck of a lot about this guy. Oh, here we go. So these rhinos and stuff, I really like these. I don't know a heck of a lot about him, but his sculptures are pretty cool. They have like a lot of whimsical nature to them. This fox is pretty cool. So if you don't know about Nano Lopez, check him out. These cats. That's a horse, I think. Giraffes. I've always wanted to do a giraffe sculpture. These are clay sculptures with embellishments of different doodads and whatnot, and then they're cast in bronze. You can see like this ostrich, you can see how big it is. Here it is when he's working on it, when it's all clay, and then you can see he's like putting on different like gears and whatnot, and like he's like making textures and stuff into the clay. It's kind of a cool concept. Oh yeah, these elephants. They're $100,000 for the elephant. The gallery that I'm in has one of them. Well, they just sold it actually. But kind of cool. Cool sculptural work. Okay, moving on to the next shelf. We have my Harvey comics, which are Casper, Richie Rich, which, look, Casper and Richie Rich are the same. Just Richie Rich has flesh tone and hair, but they're the same. Richie Rich, Casper, oh, Woody Woodpecker, Hot Stuff, Spooky the Ghost, which is similar to Casper in looks, but he has a derby and he has like a Jersey accent. If we see, calls his uncle Unc. Let's see if we can find one where he's like, instead of saying derby, he says doiby. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, it's breaking up. I'm gonna get drenched. Oh, okay. Scares the pond. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Oh, that's his girlfriend, Gloria, I think? I can't remember what her name is. Let's see, what is her name? It's gonna bug me now. I think it's Gloria. I could be totally wrong, though. I forget. I didn't read these too much. Yeah, there's Casper. When he was invisible, they did dotted lines to convey that. Oh yeah, and Wendy. I have a few Wendy's. But anyways, that's all my Harvey comics. I used to have a lot more than this as well, but I don't remember where they are. I had a bunch of Richie Rich and a bunch of Casper the most. Oh wait, maybe her name is Gloria. Maybe Richie Rich's girlfriend is Gloria. I don't remember. But she looks the same as Spooky's girlfriend, but just still alive, I guess. Okay, moving down, of course, we got Archies, because the Archies go all the way across. Down a little bit more, we have Little Big Books. Now, I know for sure I have more of these. I have at least 10 of these, but I don't know where they are. And this one, unfortunately, is missing the cover, but this is a Popeye, the Sailor, which I think are much more entertaining than the actual cartoon. The cartoon sucks. Goofy and Daffy Duck. I know I have more Popeyes, and I have Mickey Mouse too, and I have more Pink Panther ones as well. All right, moving down from there, we have, this was a gift from Noreen, I believe was her name. I do remember her. Yeah, Noreen, there we go. She's a photographer. Well, that's sweet. For Jack Cook, who helped me believe in dragonflies and beautiful things again. Yeah. So these are her photos, I believe. And then she has, it's like a children's book, if you will. So So that's that. Moving on, my favorite maker, they call him the godfather of making, Jimmy DiResta. This is his book for make. A guide to working with metal, wood, plastic, and leather. I've never even read any of this. This is probably a plane ticket stub. Chess. I would really like to build a chess set one day. I've always wanted to. Yeah, I like watching him on YouTube. He's really talented. That's him. Nick Offerman, who Jimmy DiResta is on a show with him right now. They've been friends for years, but I also like Nick Offerman. I like his humility, but I really like his woodwork. He's very talented as well. Refuses to acknowledge himself as a master woodworker. I haven't read this either. I just got it because I like him. I think I also have the Adam Savage's book, but I don't know where it is, so I may not actually have it. The Book of Mythicality. Haven't read this either, but I'm fans of Rhett and Link of Good Mythical Morning. I meant to read this, I just never have. I would also like their other books, the Bleak Creek one. This is from Lindsay, I remember that. I did actually read this one, which is why it was on Ashley's bookshelf. She watched the regular vlog, which is, I mean, I guess, obviously. This I haven't read either. This was a gift from one of you. I don't remember who. Is it Daryl? No. Not Daryl. Or maybe it is Daryl. No. It's, dang it, I can't remember. Who sent me these? This one? They also sent me some more that we'll get to. I think it was them. Gosh, this is going to be filled with dead air if I keep trying to remember. Forgive me. This is a book that I enjoyed to about... Oh, see, look. The paper cover came off. I enjoyed to this point. Right here. Chapter 5 is where I was going to read next. But I don't read too often, and this is a book that I bought myself. Here, let me put this down. There. Okay. Let me switch this around. Man, I wish I remembered who sent me that book. Oh, maybe it was Brian. I think it was Brian, not Daryl. But I could be wrong. Okay. So I got that. And next book, this was a gift from my in-laws, and then they got Alex to sign it for me. Josh, this house could not have been the same without you. An artist helping to rebuild an artist's home seems so right. I appreciate your talent, humor, and friendship. Nice. So he promised, so those who don't know, this is Mary Borgstrom, but he promised Mary to publish her poetry, and he found it. He actually found a bunch of stuff that was just going to get destroyed. If you haven't seen the Potter's House series, look it up on Instagram. Or, I mean, YouTube, Instagram. I mean, you could probably find it on Instagram too, but look it up on YouTube. Yeah. I haven't actually read this yet. Oh yeah, this was her fire forge. The neighbors put up this fence while we were working on the house there. Cool. I've loosely looked through this, but I haven't gone through it just yet. A lot of people didn't understand the significance or like what was impressive about her pottery, and it wasn't necessarily like the shape or anything. I like the ones that were more textured like this, and some that had cool colors like this. But the reason why it was impressive is not because of the method. Not see, look at that's cool. The way in which she did her pottery. I mean, I don't really understand it because I don't do pottery, but that's what I was told. Her method in firing and all that stuff, and she sourced her own clay and all that stuff. But it's the way that she accomplished her work. Her execution was, I guess, unconventional, and That's what made it special. Okay, this is so cool. Okay, so I found a bunch of these in the house, right? And so did Alex. Actually, he probably found way more than I did. This isn't actually a good example. Hopefully, okay, here. This is a map of one of her pots. Okay, I don't understand how it works, but this means something somehow. And how we know that is we found it written. Okay, so see this? This looks like a better example of what a layperson would be able to see. But for whatever reason, and even these ones, right? You can kind of see that a little better. You can especially see this one. But this doesn't make any sense. But she knew what she was drawing there. And on one of the pieces of paper, we could see there she wrote little notes and stuff on the side. And I was like, oh my God, that's because that's a pot. And then we found more that showed it, like you could see a little better what they were supposed to be. And then it was, yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if that was ever explained in any of the documentation on YouTube or not. But yeah, it was really cool working on her house. I really wish that I would have met her, but I didn't want to bug her. And then a couple weeks later, she had passed away, and I was kind of bummed. I was like, oh, man. But yeah, I would have liked to have one of her pots, but they were kind of expensive. And I mean, Alex probably would have given me one if I would have asked, but I didn't want to ask. It was really expensive working on that project. But yeah, this is where I found her maker's mark, which was pretty cool. Oh yeah, this is the kitchen I built. Lots of people were hating on my design, but we were severely limited in what we could do. So there's a window here, and people argued that the sink should be under the window, but then the sink would have been so low, if you can see from the height of the floor, that just wouldn't have made sense. The sink is supposed to sit right where this ledge is, more or less. Well, maybe right here. It just wouldn't have worked. And also, that's the back alley. It would have been not a great view. This is where the plumbing already was, so this is the sink. This is where the gas was, and then this is where the circuit for the fridge was, I believe. So it had to be in this layout. And then, of course, we put the butcher block there, which was my idea, which I thought was pretty cool. And then as we were building this, people were like, you got to do that. You know. Yeah, they didn't know. They weren't there. Everything was uneven. This whole side of the house had fallen off the house. And whoever owned it, or whoever fixed it before, they fixed the outside of the house and the inside of the house for it to sit like that. So lifting it up would have caused a lot of work. So this over here, the kick plate is way bigger than it is over on this side. Over here, it's like 3 inches. Over here, it's like 6 inches. So I had to make it level there. It was fun though. I didn't do the tile or anything like that. I just did the cabinetry. Fit everything in there. So that's my first cabinet. It's my only cabinets, really. And in here, we turned this into a pantry. That used to be the back door, but since there was like 6 doors to go outside in this house, we decided to get rid of this one. So that's that. Over here, we have... I don't know where I got this book, but I'm a big fan of Nirvana, as is my little brother, Jakoda. I've looked through this a little bit. So, yeah, I like Nirvana. My favorite band, I would say. Grew up with it because of my brother Ken. I dig it. I don't know what my favorite song by them would be, but I can listen to all of their songs. Nirvana, remember over here we have an Elvis magazine. Elvis, Johnny Cash, and Eminem, I would say, are the artists who I can listen to all of their music. And over here, of course, we have, well, this, Well, this is the fan mail. Thank you so much for that. It's weird saying that. Let's put that there like that for now. This is some writings from, so crime investigation. Look at that. That's Jakota's grade 6. Let's put that on there. Grade 6 storybook. Started writing it. I don't want to read it just yet. Krusty Underpants, which is a spin-off of Captain Underpants. That's Krusty Underpants' brother, or Captain Underpants' brother, Krusty Underpants. And, yeah. Such a knockoff. That's Jakota. Look at this. This is clever, hey? I don't know what else is in here. Yeah, probably nothing else there. Maybe on Just Joshing with Jakota, we'll go through that at some point. That would be funny. Okay, so we got those. This here is just a cool book that I got from one of the galleries that I'm in. One of these small galleries that's more so a bookbinding store. I've featured them on the vlog before. Small town gallery, so it's kind of more so a store that sells cool shit. No two of our leather books are alike because we incorporate as much reclaimed leather as we can, which is cool. I'm all about that. So I don't write anything, so it's nothingness, but kind of cool. Actually, really cool. I really like that. Actually, let me just put it down here while I re-leather that up. Okay, moving on. We have this little scale, which came out of that house. It's missing one of the platforms, unfortunately. I just put that there. This was a gift from one of you, Michael. This is a little brain that I made out of tin foil. And this was a truck that was given to me from my mom's mom, who I never really considered a grandmother because that was before complicated story. My mom is not actually my mom. And then this, I thought this was cool. This is like you put like a cap in there. Can't remember how it works. Oh, I broke it. Well, now it will never work. But I just liked it because I like cannons. And then here we have more Archie comics, of course. 2 dictionaries. I can't find my other dictionary, so for now it's just those. I got a map up here. That was a gift from someone. I'm not sure why they gave me a map, but they did. Oh yeah, this was another art book. This, unfortunately, you can say I ripped it. I freaking stepped on it by accident and didn't realize I stepped on it, and it was hooked on something, or it was under my foot, and I picked it up underneath a stack of other stuff, and I accidentally ripped it. So that goes there. Canadian Masters, handcrafted silk screen prints, things like that. Moving on. These are the bathroom readers. We got a joke book here, 102 out of this world jokes. Usually it's 101, right? Here's a joke. Where do you put a scoop of space ice cream? In a nose cone. That's not even a joke. What's out in space and goes kapow kapow? A shooting star. Okay, that makes sense. Why is traveling into space so much fun? It's a blast right from the start. Lame. But that's from my childhood. I also have like this old joke book from like way back in the day, and those jokes are so boring and they don't even make any sense. I don't have it out here because I don't know where it is. I wish I did. Okay, I got this bookmark. I have a Titanic book somewhere. Again, I don't know where it is. I may have given it away, but this bookmark, my teacher gave this to me. I remember it was Mrs. Wolber, and she was like, I was thinking about Josh as I was blah, 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 blah. I just thought that was awesome. Anyways, this is a bathroom reader here. What happens during puberty to a boy? He says goodbye to his childhood and enters adultery. What? What is this? Oh, these are real answers in tests. I was like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. What are the 3 different types of blood vessels? Veins, anchovies, and caterpillars. So spelled veins wrong. I think they meant arteries and capillaries, maybe? Capillaries? Karen goes into her garden one morning and finds the leaves covered in a sticky substance. What is the substance? When the leaves, what is that, sit in the sunshine, they get hot and it makes them sweat. That's funny. That's just like guess. They're just like taking a stab in the dark. Explain the word momentum. A brief moment. That's an oxymoron. Okay. Next here. 1,001 facts that will scare the shit out of you. You can see how far I got there. Let's see. What was I at? Oh, $50 off my next skydiving jump. Fact from 1995 to 2002. Heroin users ranged from 121,000 to 164 each year. Most of them males over 18. The late 90s were hard on everyone. Okay, so these are just random facts. And army ants are a half-inch in length and notorious for dismantling any living thing in their path, regardless of its size, thanks to massive machete-like jaws that are half the size of their own bodies. Army ants are also known as Hillary Swank ants. Really? Army ants earned their name because the entire colony, anywhere from 300,000 to 700,000, is a mobile battalion. They don't make permanent hives like other ants, but I don't know what that is. But in frequently changing locations. I bet ants would be thrilled to know they bivouac. I don't know what the heck that is. Okay, whatever. They even like made a joke about it because they knew people wouldn't know what the heck that was. Entrance only, do not enter. Fail Nation. If you guys like the Fail vlog, it's kind of funny to watch. When confused, follow the directions printed in the bigger type. Entrance only, do not enter. Oh, that's funny. F my life. It's funny, it's true when it happens to you, except when it happens to you. It's funny, it's true, except when it happens to you. Today I'm 20, I'm going bald. Oh, yeah. Today I took a picture from afar for my photography course. Then the shot was of a random adorable couple kissing in the snow. Later upon inspection I realized that the guy was my boyfriend. Oh man. Brutal. Okay, below that, Arch Comics. Below that, some bones. I like collecting bones. This is another book here, The Most Unusual Cars That Ever Ran at Indianapolis, from the same person that I couldn't figure out. Bunch of different cars. I did actually look through that because I enjoy cars. And then Krampus. I haven't read this yet, but I actually meant to. This was a gift. Awesome book. I thought you and your brother Dakota would enjoy. Merry Christmas from Christine. Thanks, Christine. Yeah, so Dakota got one as well. Thank you. I love books. I just don't read that often. This is a book from my childhood, Dinosaurs. I picked this up the other day from my mom's house. I just couldn't find the other books that I wanted to get, but I like dinosaurs, so the ultimate book of dinosaurs. This was a gift from one of you. This is like a children's book. I'm not sure why I get sent children's books, but I do appreciate it, actually, believe it or not. One day I'll have kids, maybe. Another one. Actually, I think yeah, all of these books here, same person. This is a book from my childhood. When I go camping with Grandma. Not sure where I got it from or why I had it. And here's another one from my childhood. Actually, this might be Jakota's. One of us would have written our names in it so we wouldn't get it mixed up. When you're a kid and you're close in age, oftentimes you get the same gifts. And I think we got that as a Christmas Eve gift. Okay, moving on. Go up here. This is my stash thing. I was thinking about also making a book nook. Man, I got the hiccup suddenly. But this is where I keep my gold. So put that back up there. I had to cut this down. If you watched the regular vlog, then you saw I left and I came back so it would actually fit in there. How to do your own wood finishing. So these books are more so just to have. Maybe I'll reference them every once in a while. I don't know. Welding help for farmers, getting the most out of your drill press, arc welding lessons. That I could actually learn from. And what is this one? Canadian home gardening. Oh, that actually would probably come in handy. And that's just a jar of old nails from a gold mine. Up there, that's my Far Side collection. That's all the Far Side comics. It just fit up there nicely. It didn't fit in here. This is my Calvin and Hobbes. So this is all the Calvin and Hobbes. Unfortunately, somehow it got damaged when we moved. This was pristine when I brought it here from our old house. That there has all of the Far Side comics except for the new ones that Larson is now putting out. Similar to Far Side are Rubes, and I cannot for the life of me find more Rubes comics, but I love them. An appetizer sounds good. I'll have the women and children first. Sorry to keep you folks waiting. The flight was delayed. Such gold. And then Dilbert. I like Dilbert. I can't read a whole book all in one go because they're kind of dry humor, but I like those. I got 3 of those. I would like to get a full collection if they exist. Herman, I cannot for the life of me find the 4th and 5th, so maybe I never had them, but these are great. I got this one when I was camping. I got it in where was it? Souk, I think, when we were camping, and we went to bed early because it was so cold and we couldn't have fires because there was a fire ban. So we got a light that didn't require fire and some books so that we could read. So that's that. Cyanide and Happiness, I just have 2. I'm not sure how many there are, but these are great. I think they are. Sniff, I can't even chew this steak anymore. I'm so useless. Here, Grandpa, try using this knife. Now there's an idea. Stabs himself. Freaking funny. It's kind of dark humor. Garfield, I have a whole bunch of those little Garfields. You know, it's like half a book. A little bit bigger than this. Ashley got this for me one time. This is a Garfield comic from my childhood. All the pages ripped out. I think this is the one where it starts. Yeah, look at the old Garfield. He sucks. And classic Garfield. I think this goes through different iterations of what Garfield used to look like. Yeah, you can see this one is getting severely damaged though, unfortunately. Yeah, he looks more like Heathcliff here. If you go back to Heathcliff, where are you, Heathcliff? Okay. Yeah, if you look at him there. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. But to me, obviously here he's like supposed to be like a demon or something. Must be Halloween or something. Or it's the full moon or something. Yeah, see, look at him. Right? I don't know. Maybe not. He looks more like Heathcliff. And then regular Garfield. Well, I don't even know if that's regular Garfield just yet. There, that's the Garfield I know. Anyways, that's my Garfields. I have more, but I don't know where they are. And then I have Zits. Zits are pretty good too. They're more modern. They have cell phones and stuff. Whereas some of these old ones, they don't reference stuff like that because they're too old. And that is it. Oh yeah, this is my coronavirus and a vial. I wanted to have a whole bunch of vials here. This has a whole bunch of scratches. I scratched it with what we suspect was a diamond, but I don't know for sure. Got it the same place I got that, and that'll be in a future vlog. Anyways, those are all of my books that I got on this shelf. When I find more, perhaps I'll do another book tour. I mean, I have no idea. Maybe when I build another bookcase or something. I don't know. I like this thing. I need to fill it up with a bunch more stuff. Oh, right there, that's a it's a clothing brand trophy. I forgot to mention that. It says loser. I just thought it was cool, so I asked if I could take it from the clothing store, and they said sure. So that's why I have that. Anyways, thanks for watching the deleted scenes. Stay tuned for another vlog.